Okay, so last class we have learned about scope uh, and how the JS works behind the JS engine, runtime, and so many things. So let us move on to variable environment in that hoisting and TDZ. Nothing in the sense TDZ in the sense temporal dead zone. Okay. So moving on to variable environment. So variable environment in the sense, so where the variable are stored. So it is an environment where the variable will be stored. So here, so variable environment is a place where the variable and the functions are stored during the execution. So in the last part, we have told this variable environment will store the variables and the function. So before the execution phase. So it is a part of an execution context. So as in the previous this one, I told what is execution content. So inside the variable environment, so what will happen? Variables are created before the execution. Okay, but some cannot be used immediately. So we're gonna discuss that. Uh, so here is the example. We having where a is equals to 10. So in the variable environment, so where a is equals to 10, it is a global variable. So first in the memory phase, it will store, it will create like it will create a, and initially it will initialize it as undefined, and it will completely store the function test function. Okay, so when execution phase started, so a will so 10 will be assigned to a. So then test function will it call the test function. In that again function variable will be there. So b is equals to 10, 20. So here before execution in the function, so it will be in the memory phase, b will be undefined. Then in the execution phase, so b will be assigned as 20. So it is asking to console log a, so output is 10. So as in the scoping we know that like inner function or inner scope can access the variable from the outer scope. So we are accessing the a from the global scope, so which is 10. So taken from the global variable environment. Then console.log b, which is in its own scope, so we are getting the output 20. So hoisting. So as we previously also discussed about hoisting, so hoisting in the sense, uh, it is a so uh, it it is nothing but variable can be used before it is declared. Okay, so here is like makes some types of variable accessible or usable in the code before they are actually declared. Okay, as we discussed in the function declaration, so it can be hoisted in a sense. So the variable can be used before they are declared. Okay. Hoisting is a JavaScript behavior of making declarations available before the execution by storing them in a memory during the creation phase of the execution content. So as you know, in the memory phase, so it will create a variable and initialize as undefined. Then it will run line by line. So that time it will assign the value to the variable. So here is the example. So it is telling to console a. So before that we have not assigned anything. So in the memory phase, what it will do, the a will be undefined. So it will give a output. So after that we have declared a is equals to 10. So one second, I will look. So if so here Actually, we are console dot log. So we are doing console.log a. So nothing in the sense in the memory in the memory what will happen? The a will be inside the memory and it will initialize as undefined. So okay. Next in next line I am declaring where a is equals to 5. So what should be the answer? Like so some of them thinks that it will be the answer should be 5, but here it will do. So the memory, so previously it is created in the memory and it is initialized as undefined. After so after consoling only I am declaring a is equals to 5. So in the memory we have already undefined, so I am getting a is equals to undefined. So here I have console. I am again where a is equals to 5. I have declared a value as 5. Now if I again console the value of a, that time I am getting a value of a is equals to 5. So so it is like that. So here it is like how it is internally doing. So it will do a. So it is hoisted, memory allocated. As I told, in the memory it will be created and it is initialized as a. So what will it will do? If I console, it will give an assign. So then it is assigning a is equals to 10. So value assigned later. So in so this hoisting is this hoisting will happen only in where variable data type, but in let and cons it will give a reference error. So here I am consoling dot b, which is b is equals to 20. But in the case of where I am getting undefined, but in the case of let, I'm consoling console dot log b. So here I am let b is equals to 10. Then it will give reference error. So b is not defined because I have used let. So le- uh, so it is like that. So for the, it will give a reference error that it is not being declared. So it is nothing but it will moving to temporarily dead zone. It will be covered next. So what can be hosted in the JavaScript? So actually here where is fully hoisted, but it is like in the memory it is hoisted and initialized with undefined. As I told how it is gonna work in the memory. So here you can see console.log. If it will give a output undefined, then I am assigning a. So in function declaration also, as we previously declared, so it is fully hoisted. So can be called before declaration. So here, if I agree, so what we'll do first in memory, variable is created and it will be initialized as undefined. Okay, but the function is completely stored in the memory. So in the execution phase, so if it runs line by line, then it will run this where the function is already stored in the memory. So it gonna run hello. So this is what it happened. And also let and const is hoisted, but it is not like what we can say, but the variables cannot be declared. So that the time is called as temporal dead zone. So here is the example. So here what will happen? So TDZ, nothing in the sense temporal dead zone. So it is a time between variable declaration, hoisting, and the initialization where the variable cannot be accessed. So it is a time between the variable declaration and the initialization. So where and all variable cannot be accessed. Look, as I told, let and const are hoisted, but they are not initialized immediately. So accessing them before initialization be given as error. Nothing in the sense, we will get a reference error. So this block time is called as a TDZ. So it prevents using a variable before a declaration. So here is the many examples you can see. So as I told in the example, I can't console a data if we having let value. So here is the example. Look, hoisting phase is created but not initialized. It is not immediately initialized. In the case of where, what will it will do? Immediately it will initialized as undefined. But in the case of let and const, what will happen? It is not initialized. It is created in the memory phase. So when we do let a is equals to 10, it will do tdz and like it will happen and it will give a error. So then we having the function. So arrow function and function reference. So the for that also we will be having issue. So we can see here I am consoling at 2 comma 3. So it is also giving me a reference error or a type error it will come. So it will tell that user sorry, here I am using const add is equals to function, so it is giving a reference error. So for this also arrow function also same error reference function, but in the case of where, so it will give a type error. Add is not a function like that.